Coulter, of course, the best-selling author, the great columnist. You should follow her on Twitter, Ann Coulter at Twitter. Actually, just go to her website, AnnCoulter.com. You can get all the books there. A lot of great books. You can get the new column and everything, AnnCoulter.com. Ann Coulter, how you doing?
Well, I'm pleased that that my prediction of the Georgia runoff is correct. I'm pleased that Mitch McConnell is gone, but other than that, it's a very bleak day for Republicans.
Well, we could live without Mitch McConnell, but he is like Churchill compared to Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer?
I know.
What are we going to do?
Let's just hope enough Americans stay a little bit engaged that the crazier stuff won't happen. I mean, obviously, we know what we're all afraid of, the court packing. I mean, that would be very, very aggressive, and I think would not go over well with even average voters. They'll have plenty of time to replace appellate court judges and district court judges, but to do something that aggressive, I mean, maybe this is just my sad optimism speaking, and that seems extremely aggressive. They can't make D.C. a state without changing the Constitution. Although if they pack the court, they won't have to worry about the Constitution anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. The sunny, optimistic side of me says Biden was, for all his dementia, was absolutely the best candidate the Democrats could run, and the reason for that is that he was, as far as the Democrats go, an old-style Democrat, and he was present during the famous, and pushed through, actually more than present, pushed through the famous 1994 crime bill, which didn't do much about crime, contrary to what Trump kept saying about it, but it did include the assault weapons ban, and as our more mature listeners will recall, it was the assault weapons ban, not Newt Gingrich, that led to that massive Republican takeover in the midterm elections in 1994. So I would think, I worked for the Senate Judiciary Committee after that 94 Republican sweep of Congress for the first time in half a century, and was friends with the Biden people. And one of Biden's chief aides used to tell me about how Clinton was pushing this crime bill, but Democrats in the House they wouldn't take Clinton's calls. They wouldn't take Biden's calls. So he'd walk over with Biden, my friend, and just physically present themselves in these Democratic offices over on the House side because they needed the votes to pass the crime bill. Democrats, a lot of Southern Democrats, knew that if they voted for an assault weapon ban, they would lose their seats. And my friend told me some of them were sitting at their desks crying. Joe, you can't make me do this. I'm going to lose if I vote for this. He made them vote for it, and they all lost their seats. Now Biden, in his moments of clarity, and of course all the people around Biden are those who've been working with him for a while. So I'm hoping they won't come after our guns. That's a pretty crucial liberty. I don't think they'll do it directly. They'll do something like, set the trial lawyers loose on gun manufacturers and allow them to be held responsible for any time a gun is used in a crime. So, yeah, sure, you still have a right to buy a gun. It's just that no one will be able to make them anymore. Yeah. Those are the sorts of things that I think we have to worry about.
Well, you think the committee that runs Biden, whoever that might be, do you think they're thinking to themselves, let's not go too far left, let's not do anything crazy, let's just keep things okay with most people, and that way we can be busy with our lobbyists and our donors, and you think that's maybe what it's all about?
Yes, and also, potentially, I don't think he'll be around for it, but who knows, win a re-election. I mean, that's my sunny, optimistic side speaking here. I do think the Democrats in the House and the Senate will probably, a lot of them will be a lot crazier, but of course, at least in the House, all those Democrats are going to be facing re-election in 2 years, and I don't know, just keep your fingers crossed. There's a lot of bad things that can be done. I mean, the identity politics, the firing people, the censoring of conservatives on social media. There are a lot of things that can be done subtly that will make your lives so much worse.
Oh, God. Hey, Ann Coulter, as long as I have you here, you wrote a book about how the Democrats, they have to create these boogeymen that you'd be afraid of. Like, remember the Tea Party? You were terrified of this Tea Party. Then you'd look at them. They look like senior citizens from a state fair. They look harmless. And the new one now, and they were mentioning it today, the Proud Boys. The Proud Boys are in Washington. These evil, awful, who exactly are the Proud Boys?
They are magnificent. They have protected me all over the country. From either Antifa goons or people, like the Antifa goons, me and people coming to see me. I mean, the head of the Proud Boys is Enrique. I forget his last name. Not that I think the leaders of all of our movements must be black people, but he is. So this idea that this is some sort of white supremacist group, it was started by Gavin McInnes, who, of course, is the founder of Vice magazine and the definition of cool. And they're men, is what they are.
But wasn't it just like a drinking club from Westchester? And it's mostly cops and military guys?
Yes, heavily off-duty cops and military. I've met them all over the country, Florida, Los Angeles, Bay Area. I know loads of them. A lot of them are ex-military. A lot of them are off-duty cops, although some of them have had to drop out for fear of getting fired. One Proud Boy, I think it might have even been, I think they had one female member, and she got fired from a police force for somehow appearing in a photo when they're just out. They're just out there, but I'm not doing anything, not fighting or anything. But their motto is, "We don't start fights, we end them." They are tough guys. Unlike Antifa, which these liberals can only operate in groups. I mean, it's funny when you see when they have clashed. The Antifa, they're all. I don't know why that liberal men are all scrawny and liberal women are all 300 pounds.
Hey, there you go again.
I think you want to switch that. No, look at the picture. It's true. It's very strange. But you see these scrawny Antifa, but they're wearing like helmets and goggles and boots, and they're carrying weapons. And the Proud Boys are just standing there in their T-shirts, ready to go. But no, they never ever start fights. They protect the innocent like me. Wow.
Well, what's the book where you explain that the Democrats have to create a book?
It's demonic. It's about mobs and mob behavior. The Democrats have all the attributes of a mob, both in psychologically in the way they talk and present issues, and everything is this black and white. The way they worship their leaders, but also they actually rely on real mobs like Antifa and the criminal mob to maintain control and just be their shock troops.
But everybody should go read this. It's probably the most insightful book on what is the Democratic strategy. How do they get away with this? It's called Demonic. Go get this book. And they just create this fake narrative that everybody falls for. And
with very similar attributes, such as the worship of their leaders. One thing I can say quickly, it's a minor point, but it's an attribute of groupthink and mobs, and that is turning their own side into messiahs. And, you think back, Clinton, Obama, you'd have these liberal women writing in the New York Times how they're having sex dreams about these guys. I loved Ronald Reagan. I never had a sex dream about him. We criticize our own side. We will say that there are some good things on the other side. Oh, no, not mobs. It is absolute evil. The Republican is Hitler, and their guy is a messiah.
Yeah, it's either you're Hitler or whatever you did is worse than Watergate. That's all you ever hear. Well, I hate to say
I'm so happy to see people making fun of Carl Bernstein for that. I was just mumbling that to myself, listening to him and looking at the headlines, worse than Watergate.
He's awful. Anyway, we're out of time, but if you haven't read Ann Coulter's book, Demonic, get that book. That'll explain a lot what's going on here, and get all of her books. You can go to AnnCoulter.com. Make sure you follow her on Twitter, and a new column comes out tonight. But you can get everything at AnnCoulter.com. And Ann Coulter, thanks for being with us.
Good to talk to you, Mark Simone. Bye-bye.
All right, take care.